Hello and welcome to Clarke Farms. We're back with another episode of the Clarke Farms map by MRG Mapping. And last time we left off in the middle or early stages of cutting our hay here up in the northern grass field north of our cow pasture. And so we're really looking to get our cows going here shortly. And so we're going to be jumping right back into this job and trying to knock this out as fast as possible. I've been kind of talking to a bunch of people in the comments. We're trying a few new things out here on the channel, and I'm going to try and speed this job up a little bit. I don't want to do a ton of work off camera. I know people enjoy seeing jobs get done, and I think ideally we'd like a job to not last much longer than an episode, maybe two, depending on the job and when we start it. And so I'm going to try and do our time lapses a little bit different and see if we can speed things up. And then also some people made some really good suggestions on taking a couple more rounds off, especially on the headlands. Typically you go around the field maybe 3-4 times to give us enough room to turn around without running over the grass. So we're also going to do that because turning around, if you watched last episode, got to be a bit of an adventure a few times, so we're going to give that a shot and see if we can make our lives a little bit easier here. And so we are trying to get all of this grass cut as quickly as possible because we do have a bunch of rain coming in like a day and a half. In fact, if we pop up the weather menu here, you can see we're here on today towards Sunday in the evening, and Monday we're going to be getting some rain, so we're getting way off track here. So we are trying to beat the rain. Seems to be a pretty typical thing in the spring here. Just trying to get some field work done and not get rained out. I do wish that this hay bine went just a little bit farther over. Because ideally, I don't want to be driving on that windrow of grass, but we're losing out on a solid foot of cutting width here. Or if I got myself right over on the edge of the grass here, we'd be getting quite a bit more grass cut per pass. So I think we're going to have to kind of take that into consideration here. I guess if I wasn't running the duals, I would fit perfectly right between these rows. Maybe that's our problem. Maybe we need to drop these duals off as well. I think maybe that's what we're going to do, because then we could get a lot more grass per path. Because when you're only running a, what is this, about an 18-foot implement, every foot matters, and I think we're losing a couple feet by not doing that. So that is going to be the other thing that we do today. And so I think until then, I'm going to just drive over this grass with the dual and accept that we might be cutting the yield down a notch on the grass there. I think I've got crop destruction on. I'm not sure how that's going to affect the grass in this situation. I know crop destruction does have an effect on grass yields. If I remember correctly, it's supposed to knock it down a harvest level, because with grass each harvest level gives you a little bit more yield, if I recall, but I'm not sure if that's a thing in seasons. I'm not sure if this tractor is actually set up to have crop destruction. There's a lot of unknowns here, so we're gonna just do our thing and not make any assumptions about how it is or isn't working at the moment. But going around and hitting this extra headland pass is definitely going to make turning around easier. And then when we get down to the other corner, I'll drop this mower and we'll just take this thing up to the yard and drop the duals off. I didn't want to do it because I was worried about what it's going to cost to drop the duals off, but then I thought about it, and the base configuration without any tires should have come with the tractor, without any tires, without any duals added, should have come with the tractor, so I don't think it's going to cost me anything. So we're going to find out here in just a couple minutes. Another friendly reminder, as long as we're getting down to the end row here, is that Clarke Farms is an actual real-life YouTuber, and so he puts videos up about his farm on a regular basis. And so if you haven't already, go ahead and check him out. I've got the link down in the description. He's a pretty entertaining guy, and his videos are really interesting because it's a bit different style farming than I've seen on some of the other channels. And he's a first-generation farmer, which is fascinating to me. You know, somebody who's just getting into it because he wants to farm, not because his family had a bunch of farmland that he inherited. And so for me, you know, one of the things I really like about his channel, his story, and just how he approaches things is that he's, you know, definitely making a go of it on his own. And I say on his own, he's had some help, and he's pretty open about that. He talks about the different arrangements he's had, getting land and working with another farmer to get to where he is. But it's just a really interesting story, and so you should definitely check him out. And, you know, if you're liking this map, go ahead and head on over to MRG Mapping's site. He's got a Facebook site where he's posting updates regularly. He's got, at any given time, it seems like a dozen different maps in the works right now. So he tends to release a map every month or two, at least, if not more frequently sometimes. So definitely recommend checking him out. All of his maps are North American based and have been really, really good. Just really my style of farming, really enjoying them. And so I highly recommend checking out his site, which is also in the link below. And he's been live streaming a lot lately, and he's a very entertaining guy. And so I recommend checking out his YouTube channel. I've got that in the description below as well. And he's often giving sneak previews and stuff of his upcoming maps. So if you want to check out something that's coming out soon, I know he's been streaming on his new Marksville, Wisconsin map that's supposed to be coming out. And he's announced a couple of other maps he's working on. And he's also working on the Dyersville map with custom modding. So really excited to see and hear more about that. Let's head on over to the workshop real quick here and see what it's going to take to drop these duels off. We almost took out a mailbox again. I would have never lived it down. Alright, customizing the tractor. And then, yeah, we can just drop the duels off just like that and have no cost, it looks like. I'm just checking to make sure none of our other settings got mucked up. Boom, there we go. Now our tires are all shiny new and the rest of the tractor's a little dirty. That's okay. We really need to get that pressure washer eventually here. But for now, this will just have to do. So I've just realized that the dirt mask on this haybine is something else. It looks like I've been driving through a mud pit with it. So we're going to try out this new no duels method here. Should work out pretty good for us. Drive over a little bit less of our grass here. Should be able to line it up kind of right in between the windrow and the edge of the grass here. Catch everything. If we go in cab here, it's kind of hard to see actually. Yeah, I don't think we're going to do that just because we'll end up all over the place. I really need to try out that real cab view mod at some point. That seems like it would potentially be a helpful mod for me. Well, I've seen some people use it that like it. I've seen some people that are really annoyed with it, so I don't know. It's one of those things I need to give it a try and see if it works for me or not. I keep thinking about it and I keep forgetting about it. I think when we get to the end of this row, we're going to go around the field one more time. We're going to give ourselves 3 headlands, I think, to give us a little bit more room to turn around. And then we'll start going back and forth down the long rows again. And so with that, we're going to cut into a bit of a time lapse and see if we can get through this job today.
Even when my teardrops start to dry, even when the sun begins to shine again, I'm taking all the advice there is and none of it has helped. Experience has made me realize that I won't build my life on empty words. Being so damn naive, it only hurts. I'm so tired of love songs, life never turns out the way they do. I've been trying for so long, looking for someone who wants me to. I've heard every cliche there is and none of them make sense. I'm so tired of love songs, I'm sick and tired of love songs. I'm so tired of you. Looking back on how I used to be, I always thought that love was made for me. Oh well, I was just as blue-eyed as the sky could ever be. Loving you has made me realize I'm so tired of love songs, life never turns out the way they do. I've been trying for so long, looking for someone who wants me to. I've heard every cliche there is and none of them make sense. I'm so tired of love songs, I'm sick and tired of love songs. I'm so tired of you. I'm so tired of you. I'm so tired of you. I'm so tired of love songs, sick and tired of love songs. Even when my teardrops start to dry, and even when the sun begins to shine again, I've taken all the advice there is and none of it has helped. I'm so tired of love songs, sick and tired of love songs. I'm so tired of you. Ooh, sick and tired of you. I'm so tired of love songs that never turns out the way they do. I've been trying for so long, looking for someone to help me through. I've heard every cliche there is and none of them make sense. I'm so tired of love songs, sick and tired of love songs. I'm so tired of you.
All right, so we've been going for, about a half an hour here. We're making some decent progress. We got a good chunk of this field done. In fact, let's pop open the map here. Yeah, it looks like we got probably 2/3, maybe 3/4 of this field done. The rows are getting shorter here, which is a good thing. And so I thought I'd just check in here for a little bit and comment on a couple of things that I noticed. One is our fuel usage in this tractor seems to be a bit more, I don't know if realistic is the right word, but it's definitely consuming more fuel than most of the vehicles that I'm used to. I can't recall if I've enabled the increased fuel usage mod on this series or not, but if I have, that would contribute greatly to this, and if I haven't, maybe the mod author just did a little bit better job of putting fuel usage on the tractors. That was something that always annoyed me with Farm Sim, is you could use a tractor for an entire season and never need to put fuel into it. And so, for me, as somebody who actually worked on the farm, I mean, we were fueling tractors daily when you were using them in the field all day. So that's was part of the daily ritual. You do some light maintenance, grease things up, and top off the tractor with fuel every day. And so the fact that we're already below 50% fuel in this tractor, and we're still in spring, is really kind of cool from a farm sim perspective. Definitely would have had to fuel this thing up faster than halfway through the year, but seeing that it's using up some fuel at an increased rate compared to what I'm used to is a welcome change. I still can't get over the dirt textures on this hay bine. I definitely need to look at the mod if we're going to keep using this and adjust it down so that it doesn't get dirty quite so fast. I'd like to see it kind of pace itself closer to what the tractor's doing right now. Although if I look inside the cab of the tractor here, it got pretty dirty on the inside, so probably a little bit too dirty for my liking. But with that, we're getting closer. We're up on the top of the hill. We can actually see our other end rows on the far side there, which is encouraging. The end is in sight, so to speak. So we're going to keep going on this and wrap up cutting all of this grass here, likely in another time lapse, because I think we've probably got another 15-20 minutes of cutting to go here. So we'll check back in on the other side of this field.
As simple as the breeze, I am lost without you. We're too far apart, I need you close. Purple skies and flames, my sweetheart. But maybe I am in a dream. Purple skies and flames, my sweetheart. Maybe I am in.
So we're on the final round of this corner up here. It's been quite the field to cut for grass. This has taken a couple of hours of real time total, start to finish. Probably the biggest field, well, maybe not the biggest field of grass I've ever done, but the biggest field I've ever done with smaller equipment. I tell you, I typically use the Krone Big M when I'm cutting a lot of grass. That's what I was using in FSN when I did all of my grass work, and that thing goes significantly faster than this. So we'll have to look at our options moving forward to see how we're gonna tackle this here grass cutting. Oops, I keep doing that. I've already adjusted my mower while I was turning, and then I'm turning it back. So there we are, the last cuts of grass. So we're gonna go ahead and just shut this thing down. Center, whoa, center it? Center it. The camera's going crazy on me. There, I think that's more or less centered up, maybe a little bit more like so. And we're gonna take this back up to the yard and park it up by the shed, I believe. And And so that has been a exciting episode of mowing grass. And so hopefully, as the next day and a half passes here, we'll get enough drying weather to see this grass turn into hay. If we actually just look real quick, at the weather, we've still got some good drying potential for the rest of the evening today. And then in the morning, most of the day on Sunday, we've got good drying potential. So we're really hoping to see all of that grass turn into hay here over the next day and a half. And ideally, tomorrow will also be the first day of summer, and we're expecting our crops to start popping up, which means we'd be able to get out in the field and do some spraying. We need to spray both herbicide and fertilizer on some of our fields. Not all of our fields need fertilizer, but at least the 2 big fields do. So we're going to have to look into that as well. And then I think we're going to get a pressure washer next episode too. But with that, I think we're going to just park this right here up in the yard. We did already buy our baler last time, so we've got the Kloss round baler here. And so we're going to be giving that a try ideally next episode, assuming our grass turns into hay here. If it doesn't turn into hay and it rains, I guess we'll be figuring out how the tedding mechanics work with seasons. With that, however, I think we're going to call this episode a wrap. That's all for today. Clarke, out.